24 of the smartest people who ever lived. Making a list of the smartest people who ever lived may not be a smart thing to do. After all, intelligence can be measured in a variety of different ways. Some believe in IQ tests, others place more stock in emotional intelligence. There's also something to be said about having accomplishments. Being intelligent is not the same as using that intelligence to create something that no one else can, to somehow advance humanity, to be smarter than everyone. Many smart people do not live up to their potential. It is also true that prejudices and lack of opportunities have surely prevented some brilliant people from reaching their full potential and being recognized. Still, for the sake of argument, we will use all criteria at our disposal to come up with a list of the brightest humans. Note, while IQ testing was developed in the early 1900s, there have been subsequent studies that estimated IQs of geniuses of the past. Anything above 140 is generally considered near genius level. 24. William Sidis, 1898. 1944, was an American child prodigy whose IQ was reportedly between 250 and 300, perhaps the highest ever. He had outstanding abilities in math, entered Harvard at age 11, and claimed to know 40 languages. An MIT professor predicted the young Sidis would become the greatest mathematician of the 20th century. William crashed and burned as an adult, however, holding menial jobs and getting in trouble with the law, never finding an avenue to live up to the expectations. 23. Judith Polgar, born 1976, is a Hungarian chess grandmaster, widely regarded as the strongest female chess player of all time. She broke chess world champion Bobby Fischer's record to become grandmaster at age 15. Her IQ is recorded as 170. 22. Philip Emigwali, born 1954, is a Nigerian inventor and scientist, reportedly with an IQ of 190, voted as the greatest African scientist of all time. Although this claim is controversial, his math work is often credited as being instrumental in the creation of the internet. 21. Terence Tao, born 1975, Chinese, born in Australia, is a child prodigy whose IQ scores range from 220 to 230, some of the highest ever recorded. He is currently a professor of mathematics at UCL. 20. Cleopatra, 68 to 30 BC, was the last pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, ruling the country for almost 30 years. She was fluent in 5 languages and had an IQ of around 180. Cleopatra was also known for relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. 19. Surinivasa Ramanujan, 1887 to 1920, was an Indian mathematician who made great contributions in such areas as number theory, continued fractions, and infinite series, despite not having any formal education in math. His estimated IQ was 185. 18. Garry Kasparov, born 1963, Armenian Jewish, is regarded by many as the greatest chess player of all time, with an IQ reportedly in the 190s. He was the world's #1 player for nearly 2 decades, winning the world championship when was only 22. 17. Aryabhata, 476 to 55, was probably the earliest Indian mathematician and astronomer. He is known for approximating the value of pi and developed the knowledge and use of zero. 16. Voltaire, 1694 to 1778, was a leading figure of the French Enlightenment, with an IQ of 190 to 200. He was a notoriously witty writer, historian, and philosopher. Voltaire was actually his pen name as he was born François-Marie Rouet. 15. Hypatia, 350 to 415, was a Greek astronomer, philosopher, and mathematician who lived in Egypt and later the Eastern Roman Empire. She was the first female mathematician that we know of, with an estimated IQ of 170 to 190. She was accused of witchcraft and brutally murdered by a group of Christian fanatics. 14. Johann Goethe, 1749 to 1832, was a German polymath with notable achievements in science and considered to have been one of the greatest talents in Western literature, penning the classic Faust. His projected IQ was 213. 13. Avicenna Ake im Sina, 980 to 1037, was a Persian polymath who is regarded as one of the most important thinkers of the Islamic Golden Age. He wrote on philosophy, medicine, astronomy, alchemy, logic, math, physics, psychology, and other subjects. He is particularly known for his work on Aristotelian philosophy and his medical books, like the Canon of Medicine, which became standard at medieval universities. 12. Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642, was one of the seminal scientific heroes of all times, making significant contributions in a variety of areas, from astronomy to physics to math and philosophy. The Italian's championing of heliocentrism, which saw Earth revolving around the sun, got him branded as a heretic by the Roman Inquisition. His IQ range, 180 to 200. 11. Gottfried Leibniz, 1646 to 1716, was another German polymath, a philosopher and mathematician who is best known for inventing calculus. His philosophy work is noted for the conclusion that we lived in the best possible universe that God could have created. Leibniz's IQ estimates range from 182 to 205. 10. Nikolai Tesla, 1856 to 1943, was a Serbian-born inventor and futurist known for AC electricity, Tesla coil, wireless transmission of energy, the death ray, as well as predicting the smartphone, drones, and other technologies. Estimated IQ 195. 9. Satyendra Nath Bose, 1894 to 1974, was a Bengali Indian physicist whose brilliant work on quantum mechanics with Albert Einstein resulted in Bose. Einstein's statistics. Bosons, a class of particles, are named after him. 8. Marie Curie, 1867 to 1934, was a Polish physicist and chemist. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. In fact, winning it twice. She developed the theory of radioactivity, coining that term, and discovered two elements, polonium and radium. Her estimated IQ was 180 to 200. 7. Confucius, 551 BC to 479 BC, was a highly influential Chinese philosopher and teacher, renowned for popular aphorisms. His moral and political teachings had a profound impact all across East Asia. Some recent scholars have argued that much of what we know about Confucius is a myth. 6. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955, was a German Jewish theoretical physicist who, for most people, is an obvious candidate for such a list as this. Arguably, the most famous scientist who ever lived, Einstein developed the general theory of relativity, received a 1921 Nobel Prize for physics, and had a revolutionary impact on his field. His IQ was estimated to be somewhere between 160 to 190. 5. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, is widely seen as the greatest writer of the English language and one of the world's most popular and esteemed playwrights. With an approximate IIK of 210, Shakespeare wrote such constantly, performed classic plays as Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, and Macbeth. 3 and 4. Plato, 427 to 347 BC, and Aristotle, 384 to 322 BC, were both Greek philosophers who also had a major scientific influence on the Middle Ages. Plato was a foundational figure of Western science, math, and philosophy, writing a number of famous works like Republic. Aristotle was actually a pupil of Plato's, being a part of Plato's Athenian Academy for over 20 years. Aristotle had a major influence on the development of Western philosophy and science, writing on physics, biology, metaphysics, logic, theater, aesthetics, and other topics. IQ of the Greek thinkers are projected to be at 180 to 190. 2. Sir Isaac Newton, 1642 to 1726, was an English physicist and mathematician, most famous for discovering gravity, one of the most celebrated and influential scientists of all time. Newton had an estimated IQ of 193. His book Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica was the foundational text of classical mechanics and influenced scientific thought for over 300 years. 1. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519, was an Italian Renaissance man who excelled in a variety of fields, from science to painting and sculpture to inventions. His painting, Mona Lisa, is arguably the most famous artwork in the world. The IQ of the man, who was perhaps the most diversely talented person ever, is estimated to have been around 200. Now, who do you think was the most brilliant human ever lived? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.